in Metro Denver, if that is what he wishes. And so I have spent the morning visioning with this beautiful group of people about a Colorado and a Metro Denver that welcomes everyone. And so I am excited that we are taking a step forward with this bill around rent equity and rent stabilization, that I believe is going to give us that step forward so that every single Coloradan that wants to live within the state is able to do so. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have a great lineup of speakers and also some street theater that will show why this bill is crucial to our communities.
Thanks, Carmen. So my name's Laurel. I'm an organizer with UNE, and I just wanted to share a little bit more about our organization. So for those of you that don't know, United for a New Economy, or UNE, we are a grassroots community-led organization that fights for community power through grassroots community organizing and also innovative policy solutions that are driven by our members. We have chapters in Westminster and Aurora, so we're building power all around the Denver metro region, which is super exciting. And we're excited here today to present a little community theater about some things that have happened in history that have led us to where we are today.
Hey everyone, I'm Andrea Chiriboga Flor. I am organizer for 9 to 5 Colorado. We are a grassroots member-based organization. We basically work to lift up women and families in the workplace, but for the past 4 years or so, we've been working on housing issues because our people are being displaced and evicted and pushed out of Denver and out of the metro area. About in 2016, I went to an amazing conference in Chicago to learn about the housing justice movement called Homes for All. It's a movement that was started by Right to the City Alliance. And basically there I saw what people are doing in different cities all across the United States to fight for rent control, for just cause eviction, for renters' rights, for community land trust, for community-owned land. And it was really, really powerful. And so when I came back, I knew that we need that here. And we all need that here. We need to work for housing justice. So that means a lot of different things. And mostly means fighting for tenants and people that are at risk of displacement, including homeowners that haven't paid off their mortgage that could also be foreclosed on. And so in 2016, us and UNE and other organizations decided to participate in the Renters National Day of Action, and we went to the Capitol and we rolled out a housing state of emergency because in Denver you can't live here unless you're making almost $30 an hour. That doesn't make any sense, and in Aurora and surrounding cities it's so expensive to live here. And so we created our own coalition, grassroots housing justice coalition called Colorado Homes for All, based on the national movement. And so here we are today, and this is so exciting because we've been fighting for years for rent control, to overturn the ban. That was the first goal that we had, and now we're actually doing it, and it's actually going to be introduced, and it's a real bill that we're going to be fighting for. So it's just so exciting to be here today. So thank you everybody for coming out.
Thanks so much. My name is Leslie Martinez. I'm the organizing director with UNE. And as people have mentioned, we are here today because there is legislation that will be introduced by Senator Julie Gonzalez, Senator Robert Rodriguez, Representative Serena Gutierrez Gonzalez, and Representative Susan Lantin that will allow us to stabilize rent. This will overturn the prohibition that exists statewide since 1981, when a local community in Colorado tried to pass through a municipal election process a policy that would stabilize rent in their community. And instead, our state legislator decided to pass a statewide prohibition preventing Coloradans from having a democratic process to implement policies such as this, so we can
continue to call Colorado home, because this is our home. And as part of today, we want to acknowledge where we are. We're at the Inner City Health Center here in the Clayton neighborhood. And as you can see, if you look around you, there's a lot of construction and things happening right now in this community. And we learned this morning in our training that actually this neighborhood, as well as Globeville, Elyria, Swansea, Cole, and 5 Points, were actually redlined through historical policies, making it impossible for people of color, for immigrants, for working families in Colorado to continue to grow wealth and equity in our communities. And so here we are, facing a crisis around housing, not just for home ownership, but also around rent. And so there's many solutions and tactics that we need in order to thrive. And this is true for many different cities across the nation. And for that reason as well, we wanted to acknowledge the displacement that is happening in this community because of the I-70 project and the ways that that has historically impacted this community and why we chose to have our rally here today. So as folks have shared, we are here to share a story that is not a fable. This is a reality that our communities have been facing, and to act it out so it's loud and clear about who are the people and who are the entities that are stealing our homes from us and making it impossible for us to live here and call Colorado home. So with that, I'll pass it to William and Carla to share more about that story.
Once upon a time in a land west in a land called Colorado, there were families who lived in cities and towns happily in their homes with rents and mortgages they could afford.
Érase una vez en una tierra en el antiguo oeste llamado Colorado, donde habitaban familias en ciudades y poblados, todos felices en sus hogares, con pagos de alquiler y hipotecas accesibles.
But then, in 2007, Colorado was hit by a national economic crisis.
Pero en el año 2007, Colorado fue víctima de la crisis económica nacional.
Families lost their jobs. People could no longer afford their mortgages and rent.
Y las familias perdieron sus empleos y algunos ya no podían pagar el alquiler o su hipoteca.
So, big banks on Wall Street saw this as a way of to make more money for themselves. So they began to foreclose on houses and encouraging landowners to evict those who could no longer pay.
Entonces los bancos grandes de Wall Street vieron esto como una oportunidad para ellos hacer dinero y empezaron a oficiar juicios hipotecarios contra las casas. Incitaron a los propietarios de apartamentos a desalojar a los que ya no podían pagar.
And they decided to sell our homes to big-time corporations like Starwood, Greystar, Huracan, and Orange.
Además decidieron poner en venta nuestros hogares a corporaciones grandes como Starwood, Greystar, Aragon y Coleridge.
Who stole our homes and pushed us out of our neighborhoods so they could begin to build luxury condos and houses and increase rents of apartments that were already there.
Estas corporaciones robaron nuestros hogares y desalojaron nuestros barrios para que ellos pudieran empezar a construir condominios y casas de lujo y a incrementar el alquiler de los apartamentos en los que ya habitábamos.
So now, let us hear from Andrew to share how the housing crisis is affecting his life.
Ahora escucharemos testimonio por parte de Andrew. Él nos va a compartir cómo esta crisis de vivienda en Colorado ha impactado su vida.
Hello everybody, as said before, I'm Andrew, and facing a lot of difficulties living here in Colorado. The rent at my apartment cost me more than half of my monthly wages, and the location where I'm at, I have to drive an hour to work, an hour back. So that's 2 hours out of my day that I could be spending making more money, which is what the system wants me to do in my spare time, but I can't. Moreover, how I'm being paid, I get paid on the 20th and the 5th of every month. The 5th is 2 days late for rent. So every month I have to rack up additional fees just because of when my boss decided to give me my paycheck. And I could change this by having 2 paychecks be devoted purely to rent. But that will leave me no money to put gas in my tank to get to work. It means that I will have less food to eat. I'll not be able to pay my power bills. This is a crisis that we see everywhere here in Denver. I've been a part of the DSA Mutual Aid Committee in going and providing eviction support for people who are being thrown out of their apartments by their landlords, explaining to people what their rights are. Because if you need to work full-time as scheduled, that you don't get a set, if you're a parent, if you don't speak English, legal resources are that much harder for you to get. Because it's fine to have equality under the letter of the law, but we also need equal access to the law. And we are working. Thank you. We are working to build coalitions of renters. We want to get people who pay rent, who struggle under these rising prices, to provide support for each other and to stand up to their landlords. But it's also important to know what rent is. Rent is not like buying a can of Coke. It isn't a luxury. What rent is a threat. If you don't pay what they say when they say it, you're out on the streets. You're out there in the Colorado winter. And housing is a fundamental need of people. So it should be a right of people to be able to afford to live. Because as we all know, there are multiple homes for every single homeless person. So there is demand and there is supply. It is not being met. They are lying to you when they say that it is supply and demand that dictates these things. Instead, it's exploitation, it is greed, and it's violence. That's why we all need to stand up. Look out for your neighbor. That's what we all need to do. Is it fair that we have to do that when we have our jobs? when we have to look after our kids? No. But there will be no condescending saviors coming to free us from this. We have to do it ourselves. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Andrew. And so many of us are with you and facing such high rents and injustices around housing. Who else is with Andrew? And this is why we're here today, because we as UNE 9 to 5 and the Colorado Homes for All Coalition and many others believe that we have the power to transform our cities and our state to have affordable homes where our families can thrive. Who else believes in this vision? When our communities are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When our homes are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When our rents are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
And this is why UNE 9 to 5 Colorado, the Colorado Homes for All Coalition, are joining forces again with Senator Julie Gonzalez, Senator Robert Rodriguez, Representative Serena Gutierrez Gonzalez, and Representative Susan Lantin to pass a policy that would allow for our cities and our counties to stabilize rent. ¿Qué queremos, pueblo? Rentas justas. Cuando la queremos? Ahora, ahora. ¿Qué queremos, pueblo? Rentas justas. Cuando la queremos? Ahora, ahora. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporations have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporations have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporations have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporations have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporations have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Corporations have got to go. Hey, hey. And in order to do this, we need to make sure that our senators hear us loud and clear that rent stabilization is needed and necessary. So, we invite you to call your state senator. And there is a script included in this. Just call them and talk to them. They're people just like you. Let them know that you need to have stabilized rents, that your communities need to have a place to call Colorado home. We also invite you to join us at our next action. We will be hosting a press conference before our first Senate committee hearing in the next few weeks. And to have that information of when that will be, because we never know what's going to happen at the Capitol, please like UNE 9 to 5 Colorado and Colorado Homes for All on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you everyone for being here today, and we will continue to build power together. Woo!